Mike again, and I wanted to show you that I just got something for my car, and I will be hopefully installing it today. These are door panels, obviously, but they are not just any door panels. They're door panels off of a 2023 Circuit GR Corolla. I am going to find out if these fit my car. So let's see. I am very excited to try this. There are a few things I'm going to switch out, and then I have something else to show you here. The other thing I have to show you, these are, and there's the part number, if anybody's interested. These are the switch covers that came on the 23 Hybrid Infrared. These are the last piece I needed to have all the pieces from the infrared onto my car. So, yeah, pretty excited about these. These are going to go on hopefully also today. We are outside and getting ready to take my original door panel off. From what I've seen online, you take this cover off right here, and there's a screw here. Then you pop this guy off here. There's a screw here and a screw here. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And here you go, just so you can see the screws. Got a little over eager and I pulled the switch panel out. It's pretty flush back here, but if you get to it from the very front, it's a lot easier to pop out, and just pop it out real slow. Just like popping this piece out here real slow, just to make sure you don't bend anything, put creases in it, or break any clips. Here's a better look at that screw that's in here. There you can see it better. It's best to get the switch panel out of the way because this harness sits kind of right in front of it, and it's kind of in the way of the screw. Here it is off. Luckily, my handle popped off here without any type of violence and no breakage of any clips or anything. So we're just going to leave it right here for right now. But what I may do is I may switch this out for the one that's in the door because the color is darker on the silver here, and I kind of like that. So we'll see what happens. Now that we are back inside, we're going to see if the GR Corolla door, which is a hatchback obviously, matches up with the sedan door. So we're just going to take a quick look at them here and see that. We're back outside again, and we are now working on the door panels. Now what I'm doing here is I have taken out, there's two screws here. I've taken both those out, and what I'm doing is using a Dremel and cutting all these plastic welds. And what I'm going to do there is, get all those off so I can get this panel off. Okay, we're going to try to get this off. And some of these are coming off easier than others. But let me put my phone down. Okay, here we are with the door panel. Got to clean it up a little bit. There's a little bit of flashing on here still that I got to clean off. And then, but here it is. Door panel without any top. So we are going to take the GR one that has the stitching on it. And all right, here we are with the test fit, and it's looking like it's fitting perfectly. I'm really excited about this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a drill, and I'm gonna drill these little guys out, and just a little bit, and then I'm gonna use screws and epoxy to epoxy this together, since I don't have this iron or whatever they use to melt these together. So I'm gonna use screws and epoxy, and then just fix this thing together. So let's see what happens. I'm going to show you the first one here. Got the screws and epoxy in. And now we are just going to let it set up for a while. So we got about 15 minutes, I think, is what the epoxy said. So we're going to let the epoxy set before we try to put anything back on. And then we're going to install it. Okay, one question you might legitimately be asking is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why am I removing the top parts? The main reason I'm removing these top parts is because they're undamaged. The door panels are the exact same part numbers for, looks like, hatchback and sedan, which is awesome. But so the main reason I didn't reuse these door panels, they were out of a wreck. The car that these came out of had some, I guess, major damage because the front door's leading edge had a lot of damage. It was crushed, basically, and bent in, and I really couldn't use that. I couldn't use the driver's side at all. So that's why I took that one completely apart and swapped it with mine. I got carried away with the second one and with the passenger side and ended up cutting it before I double checked the part numbers. My own dumbass fault. I could have just popped that one on and went about on my merry day because the passenger one wasn't really damaged at all. So I like to use as much of my original parts as possible, which is kind of stupid, but that's me. So that's why I'm only replacing the top. Totally could have used the passenger side, just popped it on and been done. The driver side, like I said, it was damaged. I couldn't use it. The top parts are perfectly fine. It was the bottom part that was crushed, so that was it. You live and learn, right? I mean, I probably should have checked the part numbers before I took it completely apart, but the driver's side door was already damaged, so that really didn't matter. It was a moot point at that, so meh. The interesting thing about the GRs is they have this material here, which is I think is like a sound deadening material. My car doesn't have this. My door panel doesn't have this. So I'm going to see if I can remove this and oh, sweet, it's like double stick taped on. I'm going to remove this and add it to my doors because why let the GR guys have all the fun, right? Okay, the driver's side door's on. That looks freaking sweet. I also took my cover off of here and replace you can see that one's the gray, and I used the one that came with this with the door, which is the piano black, and with the darker gray, and then I replaced the handle with the darker gray handle that came with the door. As you can see, there's the lighter gray and in contrast to the darker gray, so that was all win-win. So now I'm going to put the window switches back in and then use the infrared covers to go on. So yeah, that's looking really freaking sweet. Damn, I love that red stitching so much. That's badass. I love the infrared freaking switch cover there. That's freaking cool. Here's how it looks with the door closed. Oh man, that's sick. That stitching looks so badass. The freaking covers look badass. Hopefully it'll stop raining here pretty soon and I can put my floor mats back in. But yeah, that's looking so cool. Alrighty, here's the passenger side. All screwed together and epoxied, and I just put tape over the screws. So now it's going to set, and we'll install this in just a second. Okay, here is the passenger side installed, and I'm getting ready to put in the little harness here for the light here. So yeah, the little harness goes clipped in to this one right here. One thing I noticed is that the GR has a light on the window switch, and my car does not. So I'm going to swap these window switches out so I can have a little light as a window switch, and hopefully it works. We'll see. Okay, here it is. Clip that in. Now we put on the window switch, which it clips in right here. I clip these two little guys together right here. Alrighty, here's the passenger side, 100% complete. Can't even tell it was swapped out. And of course the infrared panel on there. And then one thing I forgot to video was the back infrared, so let me show you those. There's the passenger side rear and the driver's side rear. Okay, here's pretty much everything. I'll go by kind of slow, you can see. Yeah, I'm super happy with how everything's come out. One thing I'm going to be working on soon is trying to figure out how to do this, but that's another video. But yeah, here's everything. What do you think, huh?